Greetings, welcome back to Pinkoddbird. Today, what I believe we are going to try and do is make some of these little specimen corner huggers. This is something that I was just trying out for the project that I'm currently working on. In the past, you might remember I have done a tutorial on my corner huggers. If you haven't seen that yet, I will leave a link down below for you so you can check that out. But for now, let's go ahead and get started. You can use scraps. Maybe actually I have a scrap that I can use. So I have this scrap here. So why don't we go with a scrap first and see how this works out. I'm just going to cut this piece. It's just a scrap. It's probably about 7 inches tall. So I'm going to cut it to like 3.5 inches. No, I'll cut it to 4 inches. So here we have just a little square piece. And then what I'm going to do is, I think this will be the back side. This corner hugger, I guess it's going to be a little bit different since it's going to be kind of like a specimen type dealio. So since I know that this piece is about 4 inches wide, what I'm going to do is cut another piece that's about, let's say, I'm going to cut that down to 5 instead. So I'm going to cut it to 5, and then I'm going to make sure I know the height of this as well, which is also 4. So this is a 4x4 square. So I'm going to cut it to 4 inches. So basically what I'm going to be left with is kind of like a rectangle. That's the same height, but a little bit longer. If your page is smaller, then you can obviously cut this, shorter. However, I think this will fit, but I'm going to double check before I get too deep into it. Yeah, this will work. I want to find another scrap that's kind of like the same size of this. So I want something that's 5 inches by 4 inches. So I'm going to put this one back in the scrap box and find a different scrap. And this one seems like it'll work. So I'm going to cut this down to 5 inches by 4 inches. So there's that. Now for the back, this is going to be the piece that kind of like shows through. So I'm just going to take, oh, the wrong distressor, the wrong one, and just distress this background a little bit so it's not so bright. Like so. And then I want to take my background little script stamp and then just kind of lightly stamp some background texture on here. And I'm using an ink pad that's kind of fading out, so that's a good, just getting some light background texture. It's a good way to continue using those fading ink pads. Okay, so this is going to be our front piece. I want to distress this a little bit too. And then I like to do a light coating over the middle just to blend it in as it fades in. Also go in with your secondary color and give it a little bit more of an edge. Instead of distressing onto the page, just go around the edges. You don't have to do this. Okay, so there's that. Now, what you want to do next is figure out what you want to be the focus of your little specimen corner hugger. You can use fake leaves if you've got any. You can just stick this down and that can be your specimen. You can use real pressed leaves like I have here. So we will use this for one. Or you can also use like these transparent little wings, butterflies and wings and things. You can use those. Or you can use like the Tim Holtz field notes, snippets kind of things. And obviously we need to make kind of like a hole, right? Well, I don't have a punch that makes this shape. I probably could use my 4-inch circle punch, but that really wouldn't work because my height of my paper is 4 inches. So there would go that. So what I'm going to do is just take a pen, and all I'm going to do is just lightly and leave some space, go around where your specimen is going to sit, like so. And then take my scissors. Be careful if you're using something sharp to poke through. I'm just going to use my scissors. And I'm just going to like kind of go outside of that line a little that we just created around our leaf, and just kind of very rustically cut into that shape. Okay. So you can toss this, or if you want to, you can save it, but I'm trying to downsize. So now that we've done that, I'm gonna just take that same distress and go along the inside where we just cut and kind of finish it, make it look a little bit more finished. Ooh. Okay. Okay, like that. Perfect. And then as you guys know, I like to use this, you know, using what I have instead of buying more stuff. I did a de-stash recently, so thank you to everybody who participated in that. It was held on my Instagram, but I'm like, I need to downsize. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just using upcycled packaging. This is just like the stuff that comes in things that you buy online or in the store. So I'm gonna find an area where I can cut, and this piece is actually perfect. You probably can't see it, but I can. So I'm just gonna cut myself a piece out of this little corner here. And how long is this? I'm cutting it a little bit oversized for now, just so that I can, you know, cut it down how I want to comfortably. Okay, so there we go. So you can save this. And now we have a little background piece. So now that we have this, we can get it cut down a little bit better. So what I'm just going to do, this is going to be hard for you guys to see, but I'm just going to line it up on the inside where the plastic, you know, isn't hanging over the edge of the scrapbook paper. And I'm just going to cut it down, just using my eyeballs to gauge where I want to cut. Okay, and then I'm going to do that for one more corner, one more side over here, this side. You just want to make sure you leave enough space, you know, around your whole piece here. Okay, sweet. So that looks good to me. So I'm gonna just use my double stick tape. You can use your glue if you want to. I may stitch around this also. We'll see here in a second how I feel. So I'm just gonna get some tape down. Like so. I haven't crafted at all this week. I really just took a nice healthy week off just to rest my brain a little bit, and I was working on some other things. So that was really nice actually. So I'm back at it, and I'm working on custom. I have a few custom orders, but I also will be having some things within the same genre available for you guys coming up. All right, so now that that's down, we have a nice little barrier. perfectly like that. You see? We have a nice little window now. So now that we have our little window here, we can get our specimen on this piece, background piece that we've set up. So you want to make sure that you kind of pay attention to where your piece is going to go, because if you just smack it down, you're going to end up with it in like out of frame. So you can see here, that looks really cute. So that's exactly where it needs to go. I don't know how I got lucky with putting that there. I'm just going to glue it down. And enough so that it'll just stay in place. And before I press it down, I'm going to just double check one more time to make sure. And I want it tilted a little bit more like this. And that's good for me. So I'm just going to press it down lightly. I don't want to break it. All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. And then I'm going to take a little bit more tape because we are working with that shiny stuff, that shiny plastic. So you want to make sure that you have something to hold it in place, that'll have some longevity to it. And if you're stitching, again, you can just run some glue over it until you stitch it, and that'll hold it in place indefinitely. All right, so there we go. There we go. Like I said, you can use glue. If you're using tracing paper or vellum instead of this plastic stuff, which you totally can do, you can use your glue for that as well. Doesn't matter. Okay, so now I'm going to line this up carefully. Take your time. And voila. And I see a little piece of overhang on that plastic, so I'm just going to cut that out here. Oh yeah. Okay, let me go stitch this really quick and I'll be right back. My front piece here with the specimen is all stitched around, and then just to make it cohesive, I did the same thing for the back piece. This is just the one scrap that we initially cut. So now all we have to do is, I will say that make sure that you know which side you want your corner hugger to go on, because that determines on where this little piece is going to get glued down. So in your signature, I would say find your page that you want to add your specimen tag to. And so we know that if, well, say I want to add it here. First of all, make sure that it has enough space to tuck onto your page, or we can do it here, either one. Make sure that it has enough space to tuck on, and make sure that you like it on this side more than you like it on this side. Like, I think it looks kind of cool on this side because this is the eco-dyed paper. So, I mean, that could work. So why don't we do that? So I'm going to glue this little back square down with the attachment on this side, because we're going to hook it in this way. Okay. So I'm going to move this really quick and grab my glue. Grab my glue. Hoo, 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 hoo. Like so. And then you're only going to glue the top and the side because it's going to hook in. Remember, if you haven't seen the original video, you can check it out and you can see how to make these different ways like I originally showed, but this just came to me. And then what I was also thinking would be cool, it doesn't really fit for this theme, but for some of the themes that I have coming up, it would totally work, and you can do it too now if you want to, but to make these the same kind of way with this little clear piece in here, or tracing paper, whatever, something see-through, you could also make this a shaker. So it could be a shaker corner hugger. So that's another idea from the old odd bird brain. Oh, look at this piece here. It doesn't really matter because this is going to be against the page, but I'm just going to tap, you know, push it back a little with some of this distress. So there we go. Now what you can also do, I don't think I have anything here at the ready, but you can add like labels or stickers, something like that. I think that would really finish off this like specimen look. Actually, I might have something here. Hang on. Like this is kind of neat. It says official record, and then maybe I'll grab something tiny out of here, like this little butterfly maybe. That's what, you know, these super tiny little pieces. Oh look, this says specimen. Perfect. And then maybe we can just layer these like that. So let's see how this looks. So to tie it in, again, I'm gonna just distress these down a little, like that. And this is already coffee stained, so it doesn't need very much, but if you want it to pop against the background, these are the things that we do. Okay, so here, maybe we can put it here. Official record. Specimen, and then the little butterfly. Ah, that's cute. Okay, so that's what we'll do. And I'm going to just put it down in this corner, but still letting that stitching show through. Like that. And then we'll glue the piece down that says specimen. I never knew what to do with these super duper tiny little pieces because they're so small, but they're really good for layering like this. So specimen, and then the little butterfly. Okay, specimen. There we go. All right, so there we have it. Now let's see how it looks on the page. So if I grab that signature over, so you see we have the little notch there to attach it. One thing I forgot to say is when you glue this back piece on, make sure that you put a thin layer of glue, because if you don't, it's gonna be too much overhang on the book, which I almost am kind of there, but I think it'll suffice. But so if I close this, yeah, it's not that bad actually, but just keep that in mind. And then of course you can always tuck something underneath there as well. All right, so that is my little specimen corner hugger. Let's try it on this page here. I think these are really cool and fun. I love making these. If you feel like you got it to where it's sticking out more than what you would like, I would say just take something and then just kind of like run it where that glue is a little, just to give it, you know, push it back a little in there. I haven't made one of these in a while, so forgive me for forgetting to mention that, but I can put a note on the screen. There we go. Specimen tag corner hugger. I love it. I think it looks really cute. All right, so if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about this project. Don't forget what I said about making sure that you make a thin strip of glue here so that you have a nice flush sitting piece. And I believe that is going to be it for now. Oh, we have a what's in the box video that'll be coming up soon. I'm thinking maybe I might try and squeeze in some time where we can actually do it live. So that would be something fun and different. So if that appeals to you, stay tuned and just pay attention to what I post on the community board, because I'll have it up before I actually go live, and that way you guys have enough time to decide if you can join or not. Okay, so for this video, that is going to wrap it up for me for now. Be sure to stay tuned, because you never know what direction this odd flock of ours is heading into. And until next time, toodaloo.